All right. Just going to get the screen up here. Let's get started. So, hi, I'm Chris. That's a picture of me, and you just saw me before on the Hangouts. I'm here to do a recap of the speech that I did for HRMA at Capilano University, and it was designed to be something that could help students that are looking to use social media in a way that will really benefit their careers moving forward. And for me, working in marketing, I've spent a lot of time working with companies and understanding both sides of seeing how they can leverage people and utilize social media and tools, and also helping a lot of companies with their sales and marketing really get ahead by leveraging social platforms. And currently, right now, I'm having a lot of success with my clients, getting a lot of conversions out of social media. And the targeting is fantastic and something that I think is really going to be better along the way. So here's what I'm making assumptions about the audience. I know on Hangouts this is a much broader audience, but talking about who is in the room giving the presentation, age 18 to 35, I'm at the top end of this category, but being in college, I know that the primary audience there is going to be 18 to 35. Being in Vancouver, this is a Canadian audience that's on Canadian internet, and that does change the stats slightly. And you're fluent in 2 languages at least, English and emoji. And yes, that does make a big difference. Understanding that is a way to really see how you can interact on different platforms and become one with the software and the tools that you're using. You may not use all of these, but you definitely know all of these different social platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat. These are some of the biggest players right now, and knowing them is half the battle to understanding what you can be able to accomplish with social media. So today we're going to talk about leveraging social. And a couple of things I want to talk about. There are 5 topics. First is building your personal brand and understanding it's okay to be defined as a verb and a noun, and really having something that is synonymous with your skills as well as your name. Next, we're going to talk about finding your fit and being in the right places. Then we're going to talk about unlinking everything and being focused on each platform that you're participating in. Public privacy and understanding what rights you have on social platforms. And lastly, that platforms come and go and how to navigate the trends. So first, be a verb and a noun. How do you identify your skills? If you're thinking about a student who's going to be applying for a job, what do you have on your resume that almost stands above your name, or definitely beside your name? We all know that there's a lot of people out there that have a bunch of letters behind their name that really explains who they are and what they've done from a school perspective. And I think that this is something not to be afraid of, because although we don't want to be branded and labeled, you also do want to be recognized for the skills that you have. So be proud to be identified as the brand. Narrow your focus and specialize. Don't think of that as limiting. Think of it as empowering. Being an expert, having an authority, being able to be in a space where you can actually share your opinion and understand that you know it's right. For myself personally, there's 4 to 5 industries that I work with very closely, and there's probably 3 to 4 different types of people and companies and business owners that I like to work with, and I know that I relate to them much better. I can speak to them and create more impact and more value for them, because it's a limited space. And I personally have been able to scale up much faster in that space because I'm not trying to service everyone. So really figure out what you want to be, because that's also going to figure out how to find your fit on social media. You can make an impact on social if you're in the right place where your target audience is. Every social media platform that's out there has a different type of audience mix, whether that's male, female, type of medium that's there, whether it's images, videos, text, short text, all the different things that you can do on social appeal to different people. And because you as a student who's going out trying to get a job, or you as a marketer who's trying to find your target audience, it's really important to be in the right place. The different mix of each social platform is really important to understand. Knowing who is there and what their intention is. So for example, if you're a student that's going out looking for a job and you're trying to connect with people, you're probably not going to be looking up for the influencers and decision makers on Facebook and trying to friend them. More likely, you're going to figure out if they're active on LinkedIn, if they're active on Twitter, because those are much more open networking places for business space. Now, if their Twitter profile, for example, says nothing about their job and just says, a mom and 3 kids and we've got a great dog, they're probably not using social media to engage on the business side. So really understand that you can connect with people on social. You can make a great first impression. You can reach out and contact them. You can get in touch with them. Turn social into a much smaller arena by understanding who's there and why they're there. LinkedIn is really great, but some people don't use LinkedIn for anything else but news, and so they never check their inbox. Understand that when you're going out and trying to find people and seeing what they do. Next, unlink everything. It's a personal pet peeve of mine when I have to jump from platform to platform. And one example of this, I know you see it a lot, is when you see a cut off tweet and then a link to Instagram. You know it's a photo or a video and you know there's a much longer description, but because it was linked and posted automatically from an Instagram feed, you've got to jump from one platform to the other to actually get the message across. Unlink everything and make sure that you're posting on each social platform with the intended type of media, the right number of text, characters, and if you're using hashtags, use them correctly. Each platform has best practices and etiquette. Follow them and respect them because it really sticks out. You look like a fish out of water when you're trying to do something that doesn't make any sense on that platform. People who are overusing hashtags when they don't even work on certain platforms makes no sense at all. Understand where you can be most effective and how to do it on each of those platforms. Keep your platforms isolated. Like we mentioned before, different people are doing different things on different platforms. So for myself personally, I know that Facebook is an area that I typically connect with old friends and colleagues and keep in touch with family. And then I do have some groups on there that I interact with, some communities for some of the marketing things that I do. But my main source of interaction is actually on Twitter and on LinkedIn, where I get the most inbound messages. I'm connecting with the most people and I'm growing my network the most there. It's something that I appreciate if someone's going to send me a friend request, but that isn't the place that I do it because it's so blurred with my personal network that Facebook doesn't feel like work when I log on. Stay everything on one platform and really understand that whatever you're posting should just live in one place. Public privacy. The best privacy is planning and not posting and hoping that people don't see it. The rule of thumb that I really like to use here is think about if your grandma, your kids, or your boss were to see anything that you post, whether it's today, whether it's 5 years ago, whether it's 5 years from now. Filter what you post in 2 ways. One, obviously PG-13, so that things don't look too racy, don't give you judgment when it's unnecessary, but then also staying true to your brand. We talked previously about understanding the things that you do and how you do them and why you do them. You can leverage your expertise, show your authority by posting things that are relevant to your personal brand and understanding that. Leverage that everything that is on social media is public, and that is a good thing when you're trying to build your personal brand, but don't blur it with things that don't help you grow. Okay, so use social to your advantage and do so by using these filters and using that test to see if it's something that is actually going to help you grow. Platforms come and go. You don't actually own your audience. This is one of the biggest mistakes I've seen a lot of people do. We have a couple examples right now where your audience you've built on social is going to completely go away. And really understand that if you want to grow your personal brand and the interaction that you have with your audience, you have to do it outside of social media. Connect with your network off of social media. Get a website if you need to. The best interaction you can have is having an email list and direct access. And the examples here, just recently, Vine and Beam will both be officially gone in January 2017. Everything that those users have built over the time that these social networks were growing are going to be completely left behind. And what you've noticed is a lot of the influencers on these platforms have migrated to other social media platforms. You see the rise of Snapchat, you see Instagram battling with Snapchat for video dominance, you see the growth of YouTube that is never going to slow down. YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world, and these people who were influencers on these platforms left for very different reasons. Beam is growing and expanding into a new media outlet. Vine is completely shutting down after really letting down their users and not really evolving. And it's something that you really need to understand, that as part of the cycle of you interacting with people on social media, getting off of social media is actually really important. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've heard about salespeople who think they have a hot lead, and then they really come around to say, well, I was just messaging with them in their inbox in LinkedIn, never got their actual contact information, couldn't get in touch with them outside of that, and you lose control. The whole idea with social media is that it's great, it's isolated, you don't own anything that's on there, your content, your audience, and it's something that you really have to understand is out of your control. So make sure that you get past that filter when you're trying to engage with people and take it to the next level. So to wrap up, I'm going to leave you with exactly that. After today, if all of this makes sense to you, connect. Most of my handles online are at Chris Milt. You can find me on Twitter that way. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. This presentation will be available as almost more details at chrismilton.ca/cap. And you can always send me an email, chris@chrismilton.ca, and I'm happy to always talk marketing. I'm happy to talk with different strategies and tactics, understanding what's happening out there for you. I'm here as a resource. I'm definitely someone that you can count on to give you the honest advice and tell you exactly what's happening. And this is something that I'm really passionate about and my career is based on. So social is one part of the marketing strategy that I use for a lot of my clients. And if there's anything that can help you advance you in your career or your business, please reach out and let me know. Thank you very much for watching this YouTube Live and Google Hangouts. I'm going to shut this down now, and this was a really fun presentation to do live. Thank you for watching and following up, and I look forward to getting more content and more tips to you so that you can grow your brand and make it a great 2017.